Hello and welcome to the penultimate round of the 2018 FIM Maxxis Enduro World Championship. After the cancellation of the British GP, the 7th round of the season takes us to Métamis in the Côte-d'Or region of southern France for an event organised in just 3.5 months thanks to the sterling efforts of the Motor Club Mazenay and Gilson tracks. Wine very much a way of life here, as is Enduro in this picturesque corner of the country. Bradley Freeman's charge towards the E1 title continues unabated. The beta rider was Steve Holcomb's closest challenger for most of the day before being overhauled by Salvini at the end of the 5th lap. Still third in EnduroGP, put the Briton third in those standings, while a 7th consecutive E1 victory moved him 26 points clear of Jamie McCanny at the top of the class. The battle for top spot, perhaps predictably, came down to the dynamic duo vying for this year's EnduroGP title. Alex Salvini coming into the event 16 points behind Steve Holcomb after his DNF on the opening day in Adolo. Soon found himself 20 seconds off the pace here after hitting a tree on the opening test and a similar mistake on the following lap. But the Husqvarna rider never beaten, and he charged up to second place ahead of the Super Straight. Holcomb arrived in southern France expecting a tough time on his 2-stroke beater in the dry and dusty conditions when compared to the 4-stroke machines around him, but surprised himself with his pace on the Saturday. The defending EnduroGP champion away and clear before Salvini started his charge, but despite the Italian's pace, it was the Briton that still held a 3.5 second advantage going into the final 2 Super Straight tests. The scene set then for a dramatic showdown between the two best in the business. Certainly on this year's evidence, this a huge chance for Salvini to put down some sort of marker and at least make some inroads into Holcomb's championship lead. In the first duel, Holcomb got the better start, but after that, it was all about Salvini. The Italian soon back level and bursting into the lead over the tyre jump. No way back from there for the Briton, Salvini going on to beat his championship rival by 2.7 seconds, cutting his race lead down to just 76 hundredths of a second. You could cut the tension with a knife as they prepared for their second run, this time Salvini getting much a better start and quickly opening up a decisive lead. Holcomb doing a better job of hanging on to his coattails this time, but unable to reel the Husqvarna in. Salvini winning the stage and with it the race by a mere 71 hundredths of a second.
This is my kind of test, so I really like this, and I have my practice track at home. It's kind of this thing, so I was 20 seconds behind at one point, and then I start to get a better feeling and get some second, and at the end, get the win like this is unreal. Really happy about it.
Holcomb's championship lead now down to 14 points with 3 races remaining. Louis Clario was going great guns until losing 20 seconds with a big mistake on the 3rd special of the day. The Frenchman dropping down to 7th after that, having been vying for the lead, but then recovered his pace to move up to 5th and also 3rd in E2, as he did on Saturday. The Yamaha rider ending the day just 16 seconds away from overall victory. Christophe Charlier's season has been one of ups and downs, mostly downs. However, having shown good pace before dropping out on day 1, the French beta rider this time kept his bike together the whole of the day to finish 4th, his best result of the season, and also 2nd in E2, an agonising quarter of a second away from both an overall podium and a class victory. Iro Remes took full advantage of Salvini's bike problems, taking his 5th class victory of the year to close the gap in those standings to just 14 points heading to Germany. 3rd overall, a nice bonus, and the TM rider is only 2 points away from the top 3 in the EnduroGP standings. With Salvini effectively out of the reckoning, there was a chance for someone else to take the fight to Steve Holcomb, and Christophe Nambertin was that man. The Gas rider so inconsistent this season, but when he's good, the 3-time world champion is very, very good. Sunday, his day to shine, challenging Holcomb throughout, but pretty happy with 2nd in the end, both overall and in E3, just staying ahead of Remes despite a late wobble. After the relative disappointment of losing out on the final stage on Saturday, Steve Holcomb quickly set about putting all that behind him. The defending champion setting the scratch time on the opening stage of the day and never looking back. leading throughout to claim his third EnduroGP win in 4 races and move 30 points ahead of Salvini heading to Germany. Holcomb also only 4 points away from clinching the E3 title that he's defending from 2016.
Today's goal was to push really hard the first lap. You know, I took the time this morning to walk everything and, you know, focus on where I was comfortable pushing, and yeah, had a really good first lap, you know, kept charging second lap and basically, you know, just rode the third lap, you know, trying not to crash really, because yesterday my crashes let me down. Thank you very much.
So as in Adolo, Holcomb the big winner, while Salvini left wondering what might have been, but for a second bout of bike gremlins in as many weekends. Great too to see Nambertown back on the EnduroGP podium, only the Frenchman's third visit, what has been far from a vintage year. Holcomb heading to Germany with a 30-point lead then, with only 40 left to play for, while the battle for third should go right down to the wire.